In a world obsessed with rankings, two men dare to chisel greatness out of metaphorical granite, one wildly subjective opinion at a time. This show, every episode, we select four icons from a single topic and immortalize them in our own personal halls of fame. Subjective? Absolutely. Debatable? Always. Set in stone? Until next week. Welcome to the Mount Rushmore Show, where your top four says everything about you. I'm Mike Mintz. He's Joe Mintz, coming off of the Halloween, and we are into All Saints Day today. Joe, how is your weekend so far?
Weekend is great. I was telling you earlier before we started recording, I am an Annapolis guy. Navy football has their biggest game of the year against North Texas. Expect a shootout, folks. I won't say any more than that.
Last week, Joe, we talked music biopics. I don't you prefer biopics, right? So
I say biopics, but my preference is none. You can say whatever you want, Mike. I'll allow it.
I posted to Facebook about some of this, and I got some interesting results for people who are looking forward to potential music biopics coming out, and it kind of spurred this conversation. So I guess we wanted to start with that, right?
Yeah. Um, Last week was one of my favorites. That music biopic episode. We broke down some legends from Straight Outta Compton, Walk the Line, 8 Mile. Um, Now we look ahead. We didn't talk about this. We probably should have. So I want to touch on it now. The biopics we not only want to see made, but who we've cast. And before anyone asks, the Beatles are off the table. Sam Mendes already has that one covered. The guy's directing an epic four movie Beatles biopic. This is like Lord of the Rings level of movies, and one film for each band member's perspective. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's already cast, it's in production, and from everything we've heard, it's going to be one of the most ambitious projects in music film history. I'm thinking Oppenheimer level scope here, but through the eyes of Lennon, McCartney, Harrison, and even the man himself, Ringo.
I don't see it's hard for me because the Beatles obviously I was inundated with the Beatles. My dad was a huge Beatles, it still is. I grew up on the Beatles music, but their music really transcends. Their stuff is still best selling today. You can't go anywhere without hearing their music, if not revisions and redones, but also just the originals being played today. This is it. They're a band that is on everybody's consensus all around, all time greatest bands, and the Fab Four, right? The title is in there, and they're all four fantastic musicians. Look at what McCartney has been able to make Macca still kicking, still doing it. Ringo has had multiple hits on his own. Harrison, before his death, was one of the best-selling solo artists outside of, within the Beatles. Lennon, before his untimely death, had Imagine and Double Fantasy and stuff. And so you look at each one individually, incredible. Collectively, the sum of the parts is one of the greatest bands of all time.
Feels like one of those that should have been made a long time ago about such an iconic group. But the hard part is, this can't be half-assed. It needs to be done right. And it sounds like from everything I've heard, from who they've cast, who they're directing it, this is the right way to do it. So I can't wait. Put it in my mouth now. It's going down easy.
Well, and I mean Mendez is a great. I mean American Beauty. You think about he had one of the best,
Yeah.
James Bond films and Skyfall. He's just a great auteur. And so for him to tackle this, it feels like it's in good hands. So I'm excited.
Well, now that that's off the table, Mike, what is the movie of the star you want to see made?
I struggled with this one, Joe, when you kind of brought it up, and I was even still kind of waffling right up until here. But I think one of the best stories, that's where it comes down. I think there's better musicians here and better groups and better stuff. But this is one of the coolest stories, and that is the story of Megadeth. And if you don't know Megadeth or heavy metal, what you might not
Uh,
know is that Megadeth was born out of Metallica. Metallica starts off, and everybody knows that name. And then what a lot of people don't realize is that the lead guitarist for Metallica was a dude named Dave Mustaine. Dave Mustaine is going to get fired from Metallica before the first album comes out. And Mustaine does not take this lightly. Yeah, he feels completely scorned by this, and he is going to take an entire career, creates a band with one intention to take down Metallica. He wants to play faster and harder than Metallica ever did. His name is Dave Mustaine, and he creates Megadeth. They go on to sell multi-platinum, records, millions of dollars, all of this success, and you would think Dave Mustaine would be happy, and he is miserable to this day because he has never taken down the people that he feels scorned him the most because Metallica is still one of the all-time greats. And so for it's one of these crazy stories of a guy that basically sheer force of hatred and will has created a monster metal band in Megadeth, who's had some of the greatest hits, Symphony of Destruction, Hangar 18, Crush 'Em, all over the way through Rust in Peace and all of these great albums. But it's just a fascinating piece of music history where two of the biggest thrash metal bands of all time are inextricably linked together. And Dave Mustaine's an interesting character. If you've ever seen an interview with him, long blonde hair, just an angry kind of guy. If I had to cast, there's a lot of choices out there, but I would have to go with I think Adam Driver could pull it off. If he'd have to dye his black hair blonde, but
What a
he's kind of got
casting.
he kind of has the look. He's kind of that thin, kind of waif, kind of like Mustaine. I think he could pull off the anger of a Dave Mustaine. I think it would be a great. I think that would be awesome. So.
I don't know the story of Megadeth, so this would be a new one for me. Is this an A24 type story we're looking at here, Mike? Are we
See,
we
this
looking at
is
Paramount, excitement? What's the vibe?
Yeah, I think A24 would be probably the right studio because this is warts and all. You can't do something like a Paramount or a big production company where you're going to try to smooth over the edges. What we saw with Bohemian Rhapsody, I don't think you're going to be able to do that with a Megadeth out or with a Megadeth biopic. You're going to have to go right into the heart of this whole thing. And you're going it Metallica is going to have to be part of this thing too. They're the side characters here. But they're definitely linked to this. So I think you got a lot of great thrash metal history that late 80s into the 90s, the changing of the times. I think it's a great time period. It's a piece of music history, a genre that sometimes gets overlooked with biopics. And so I think this could be great. So.
I love a good biopic that the story's not fully known. Like
Mm.
Elvis one came out, right? Or the Beatles. We know that story. We're just reliving it. This is one a lot of people won't know, including me, which is almost more exciting. It's its own genre of music biopic.
Well, and there's a ton of drama. You can go on, read about the new wave of British heavy metal and the fighting between the bands all the way through. There's a lot to be mined from this thing. So you're right. I think it's one of those areas that's been kind of untouched, and a lot of people don't know the story, and it's a really killer story.
Awesome.
What do you got, Joe?
I thought a lot about this too, and I thought about some people whose story was sort of told adjacently in other movies. Like I thought about Snoop Dogg, but I was like,
Hmm.
it was a little bit touched on Straight Outta Compton. And then I thought about some people I liked, like Kurt Cobain or Jeff Buckley. But I also mentioned I'm fatigued from the movies that are overly done with music. So, say like a Prince movie, I think would be more like a Bohemian Rhapsody Elton John movie. I'm kind of done with those sort of musicals. And then I'm done with like the sad guy with Jeff Buckley and Kurt Cobain because they're great stories, but sad stories. I think the future is a mix of a blend. And I had to pick somebody who personally I'm not a fan of their music, but I think the movie would be awesome. And I like the idea of thinking about the casting of this iconic figure. And that's going to be none other than Madonna.
Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect.
Not because, like I said, I was not a diehard fan of music. I couldn't name you a song, but her story is the ultimate cultural time capsule. The rise, the controversies, the reinvention. It covers all through the 90s and early 2000s. It's less so just music history, more pop culture history, which fascinates me. And if we're making it, I'd focus on her journey from the gritty New York club scene through the Like a Prayer and Ray of Light eras, showing how she constantly reshaped identity. And credit to her, femininity and fame itself. We've seen many follow that from the Miley Cyruses on. And the lead, that's a big one. I'm gonna surprise some people here. I'm going Julia Garner. Not for just the resemblance, but because I think she's a proven commodity that can dominate. And for those of you that might not know, she was a star of one of my favorite shows as the Wrecking Ball Ruth in Ozarks.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and she's actually recently starring in the show Weapons, more of an ensemble movie, but she has a big part in that huge Hollywood Halloween sort of blockbuster, we'll say. Um, but realistically, I could see studios going for a bigger commercial name, someone like a Sydney Sweeney.
Mhm.
But if you're going for that authentic grit, it's Julia Garner's role to lose.
I love that choice. Madonna is such a monolith within that type of, pop music of the 90s, unavoidable. Even if you didn't know some of her music, you knew who Madonna was. You knew the name. When you think about a mononym, people that can go by a single name, Madonna's one of the few that everybody knows exactly who you're talking about. When you drop just a single name, has huge hits, unbelievable. You brought up, um, some of those ones and just unbelievable amount of work. But it's not just music. She touched everything. She was in movies that were some of them were big hits. Plays. She was in Evita. She had like a coffee book. I think it was titled Sex. And that was the other thing is Madonna always had that edge to her that was very indicative of that time period. I think Garner would be a great choice, especially like depending on where you're looking at starting the story, and she's a really good actress, and I think she does kind of have that look. You could definitely go, oh yeah, this
Blonde hair is
fits.
there all
So
day.
yeah, that could be a perfect little. I'd love to see that. I can't believe there hasn't been a Madonna movie yet. So
Well, if studios are listening, maybe we'll find out it's in production next.
yeah, they're
And give
watching.
me
They're
a
gonna.
cut if Julia Garner's cast in this role, Mike, and Megadeth gets Adam Driver. If we don't see royalties from that, I'm gonna claim a suit. This is our proof. This is a recording that's going public today. That this is our time stamp of what we predicted.
I know they're watching and they're just waiting. Oh, that's the next best idea. So
Yeah, there you go.
well,
And then before we get first off, if you're listening to this, you probably saw the title of this episode and are thinking, when the heck are they going to talk about the thing that they're supposed to Mount Rushmore? Before we do that, we're going to make you wait even longer.
of
I
course.
have to talk about an episode we did 2 weeks ago because today is a historic day. We talked about our Mount Rushmore of playoff baseball players, the October folks that stepped up. And tonight we are looking at Game 7 of the World Series. And in my opinion, one of the best World Series in recent memory. Maybe the best game of the series in Game 3 with that absolute marathon that went 18 innings. Pure baseball drama, pitching duels, defensive gems. Both teams are leaving everything on the field. And for those of you that who've been following since early October, I called it. Dodgers Blue Jays was my prediction. A U.S. versus Canada showdown for the ages. And I said it from the start. Dodgers in 7. So here we are, one game left. Historic matchup. Uh, Border bragging rights, probably to make up for my poor hot takes in hindsight for the NFL. Um, and honestly, it's lived up to every bit of the hype. Mike, what are you expecting?
Otani. That's what I'm expecting. I mean, come on. The guy he's going to make our lists in the future if we keep doing the show. And anybody that does a show about famous baseball players, he's the guy, right? I mean, it's amazing to live in a time where we have a guy that's as dominant as he is right now, on both and doing things that are unusual in baseball to be so good at both pitching and hitting and to play at such a level, including in the off or in the postseason. He's a name that is really making this sport what it is, and so yeah, I think when you predicted the Dodgers Blue Jays and you asked me about my predictions, I said I'm more about this guy, right? Otani. And for a guy that's already made a legacy, what do you call it now? if he goes on to win this one in this type of fashion moving forward. I'm not a huge follower of baseball, but I'm a follower of guys that are able to really be almost like it's almost like somebody's playing a video game. You know what I mean, Joe? And they've like set the level to rookie, and they're just going through and dominating. It's impressive.
I agree. Otani's the big story in this. But not only Otani, the Blue Jays making it to seven feels
Yeah.
like the story. It kind of reminds me of the Pacers going seven to Oklahoma City, the heavy favorite versus the underdog. And I'm torn for a couple of reasons. One, I predicted the Dodgers, so everyone likes a prediction coming true, right? And two, we got U.S. versus Canada. It's hard not to root for the U.S. But there's a part of me that loves the underdog story of the Blue Jays. And I also just watched a great Netflix doc about who killed the Montreal Expos.
I
And I have
saw
some
I
guilt since watching it, since they came to my neck of the woods in DC and won a World Series. And it made me want to see, it made me realize how much baseball fandom and passion there is in Canada that I did not know existed. And I want to see them get something. And the Dodgers just got a World Series. They're going to probably win many more with this guy Otani. It feels like the Blue Jays' only chance. It feels like the Expos energy inside the Blue Jays to bring this to where it's came to today. So I gave you reasons to root for the Dodgers, but in the back of my mind, I'm going Blue Jays.
Oh, we're split. We're split, man. I'm going Dodgers.
This
So
isn't logic. This is emotion talking, Mike. It's what I want to happen.
it's tied up in the emotion. Well, I guess we'll see. You called it going in, and now you're making a bold. Are you predicting or are you just hoping, I guess? So
My prediction's set in stone, Mike. It's the
okay.
Dodgers, but my hope is not aligned with my prediction.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I suppose we actually do have to give the fans what they want for the title of the episode at this point. So
Yes, this week's topic. Because Halloween was yesterday, and what better time to talk about the real reason this holiday exists? Dressing up to consume ungodly amounts of sugar. Now, I can't remember the last time I had real candy. Most of my treats come in protein bar form with fake sugar and 20 grams of whey. But there was a time, man, I was an absolute candy animal from Halloween hauls that could last through Thanksgiving with leftovers to my legendary Friday candy runs. My mom used to take me and my sister on where we could pick one piece every Friday after school. It's all nostalgia. So, this episode is a walk down memory lane, our Mount Rushmore of Halloween candy.
do you take a cheat day on Halloween, Joe? Do you allow yourself a single Kit Kat or anything like that?
I didn't yesterday,
Okay.
but after this episode, I can't say what might happen. This will be, I'll have
Okay.
to report back. But Mike, did you indulge at all yesterday?
Surprisingly not as much as you would consider. I have kids, and so we went trick or treating with. It's always amazing to me, like how much candy people buy, and of course you do too, because you're handing out candy on Halloween. But like just giant bags. We have to take it in the middle of the night from the kids because otherwise they're going to go. They're going to get diabetes if we if we let them eat all of this stuff. And so like we have to like, okay, you can have a couple of pieces, and then we're gonna take it. I think I had maybe, I had a those little fun size. I had a couple Snickers and some M&Ms last night, but not as much as in years past. I used to watch the movie and answer the door, and I'd go through quite a few candies, but not as much last night as normal. So
Fun size is dangerous because you don't know when is enough.
I can eat
You have
20
a
of
full
those.
Snickers bar, you know when you're done.
Yeah.
But you don't know with fun size. It's Jim Gaffigan's mini muffin theory is you have a muffin, you're done. Mini muffin, you're like, do I have one or 12? I
Yeah.
don't know. So you just keep going.
Yeah, it's a dangerous ball game. But I will say, as we set up this episode, I have my favorites. There's my go-tos. There's the ones that I'm always like, oh, maybe I do like this, and I'll try it again. And there are the ones that I absolutely hate and avoid. And some people love them. I don't know how this one's gonna go, Joe. We might disagree pretty dramatically if you pick some of these picks, man. So
I have a feeling we might, based on what you said. And this we've done a lot of hard Mount Rushmores. This could be the hardest because it's strictly dependent on mood. I might have a whole different Mount Rushmore tomorrow. It's literally like what I'm craving in the moment of crafting the Mount Rushmore. And for my list, I tried to diversify. So the big ones come up are a lot chocolate based, right? But I don't want
Hmm.
only chocolate. I'm picturing a plate of four things to cover all my cravings at once. So it was incredibly hard. And if you ask me tomorrow, it might look different. But for this episode, it is set in stone. So I am stuck with it. There's only one that was unanimous. And maybe we share that. The other ones are really tough.
Well, I guess let's carve it and see how it turns out here. So,
Mike, kick us off.
all right, my number one. It's I think it's a consensus all around number one, and I have to agree it is my go-to. If I'm picking out a candy bar or something at the store, it's the Reese's peanut butter cups. Absolutely. Hands down for me, it is the perfect candy. I don't know, it's never been, and other people make peanut butter cups, but to me, it's the Reese's. It's got to be that brand, that style. They've had different versions of it, and those are okay, but it's the GOAT. It's the S tier, if you will, for what this generation currently calls it. It's perfect with milk. It's perfect by itself. You can throw it down with soda. I'll eat one. I'll eat two. I'll eat as many as you're putting out, man. I love me some Reese's peanut butter cups, and it's got some history where I grew up in Pennsylvania too, so it's cool.
Mike, we couldn't agree more. This is a unanimous number one. I assumed it would be for you. The king, the undisputed champ. I wish I was a fly on the wall when peanut butter and chocolate first got introduced. Um, Now, invented back in the 20s, believe it or not, 1928. Did a little history for you on these candy bars. This peanut butter and chocolate masterpiece is so dominant that it's now a $1 billion brand. Mini cups, pumpkins, trees. They're teaming up with Oreo now. They all slap, Mike. Even the ratios matter. The holiday shapes, peak Reese's. My one complaint about Reese's is two is not enough. I am never satisfied with two Reese cups. I'm sorry. It is a tease. It is one potato chip essentially. I know they sell king size, but I've never been satisfied with Reese's portions. I think we need to if I were in the lab of Reese's today, I would say make a Reese's bar. They haven't done that yet.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know
That's
if
what
I
I
would have.
want to see. But it's the perfect combination of two ingredients that have ever touched human food history, in my opinion.
That's a pretty good way of saying it. The OG, I love me some Reese's peanut butter cups. So that's our
But
shared number one.
before we leave this one, I haven't had a real Reese's in a while for one main reason. I can get my fix through Quest, fantastic brand that makes Reese cups. That when I consume them, they taste exactly like a Reese's or my memory of a Reese's. So if I have that need and desire, I go Quest Reese cups all day. You can find them at your local 7-Eleven convenience store, folks. If you haven't had them, try them. Your gut will appreciate it later, but your taste buds will not.
Oh man, it's an invitation. Look, the OG is still my go-to. There's other ones out there. Quest might do a good job. I'll have to try it, Joe. We'll see. So, all right. I don't want to do number two. I think you should pick number two. So
This one might get me in a fight with you, Mike.
let's do
You
it.
mentioned a polarizing one, but it's my Mount Rushmore, god damn it. And that is candy corn.
Oh, I love candy corn. You're not going to
Okay,
fight on
I
this. We're not
thought
going to fight.
that's a
No. So
polarizing one for
it
some. I
is.
thought that was going to be the one. I know people love it or hate it. Um, but to me, you can't talk Halloween without candy corn. It's literally been around since the 1880s, Mike. Originally called chicken feed. It's pure nostalgia, pure sugar, and pure tradition. Most of my memories of candy corn are eating it to the point of my stomach
Mm.
being in obsessant pain. If I could remove that memory, it's nothing but pure joy.
There's not, I love candy corn and I know people hate it. And I think it's like a cilantro thing. It must be some people just have the wrong taste buds or they were built wrong. I don't know what's wrong with them because candy corn's amazing. My complaint, other than that I eat too much, is that there's no real good way of getting it. Like you don't really get it when you go trick or treating. There's not like bags of candy corn. When you're buying candy corn, you're usually buying like a giant bag of it. And so it's not, most people don't want to just like put unwrapped candy corn into people's bags. So I end up buying my own candy corn. And most people don't give it out, in my experience, at least here in Montana. You don't see people giving out candy corn. So I have to buy it myself. So that's kind of my own complaint. And then when I do buy it myself, I usually end up eating whatever I've purchased, which is all of it. So yeah,
The only problem with candy corn is it doesn't come in a fun-sized bag. It's
that's
something that's
it.
in a dish that everyone puts their dirty mugs on as they grab. So sanitation is not in favor of candy corn, and it's not easily dispensed in Halloween trick-or-treating since it's not in that fun-sized bag. So
Yeah,
it's not only underrated but underutilized.
I'm surprised you put it in a dish and share it, Joe. I don't I don't do that.
I
All right,
put it in a bowl in my lap is what I meant.
I'll move on. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go off in a little bit of a different direction here. I do Candy corn didn't make my list, although it's certainly up there. But I'm gonna go with Warheads.
Mmm.
And I know a lot of people. I'm a sour. Chocolate's all right, right? And chocolate and peanut butter, great with the peanut butter cups. But I like the sour stuff. And when you're getting sour, here's the deal: there's nothing like Warheads. There's nothing. Sour Patch Kids, they can't touch it. When you want that sour that literally like punches you in the mouth, there's nothing like a good Warhead. And you get maybe. The thing about warheads is you don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes it's 5 to 10 seconds, and sometimes it's like 35 seconds of pucker where you're just not able to talk. And that's what I'm always looking for. I'm looking for that next rush. You can't have too many of these, Joe. Do not try to do it like candy corn and throw a whole bunch in. I can do maybe 3 or 4 warheads in a day before like either my stomach isn't working or my literal tongue is bleeding from the acid in this stuff. But when I'm looking for that sour fix, there's nothing that touches a warhead.
That is a bold pick, Mike.
Very.
That is the Hot Ones challenge of candies that I do remember, but remember with taking them at a point where I'm like, I'm gonna be dangerous right now. I wasn't on my best behavior when I took a warhead because I knew what I was in for and I was excited but also nervous. If you asked 12, 13-year-old me, this list would be crafted all sour. I was doing
Hmm.
Sour Patch Kids, Sour Skittles, Sour Punch Straws. Warheads were not a regular, but they'd be on occasion. I was a sour guy.
Hmm.
Now my taste buds have changed. I would not go sour. It is not my thing today. Um, I can appreciate the nostalgia of a warhead, but it's not making my list.
Well, not many people give them out, but every now and like my kids, I think got two each.
You need to
I'm
sign a
like,
waiver before you give that out to just children. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, kids, those are the ones, those are mine. You're not getting those. They don't want them anyways. And I'm like, don't throw those away. I will eat those. I'll eat those warheads for sure. So, eventually.
I mean, there's a guy with his face essentially exploding on the cover of the candy. Warning,
Which,
beware.
yeah, well, I mean, hey, listen, if you're brave, go for the warhead. All right, Joe, hit us with something sweet.
So we are going away from chocolate and we're going a sleeper pick, and that's Swedish fish.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh, this is the fighting one
Mm-mm,
for you, huh?
mm-mm, mm-mm.
This is an old timer, born in the 50s. This chewy red candy from Sweden became an American icon. Fun fact, it's one of the few candies still fat-free, which I
Oh,
used to love to point out while we were devouring them by the handful. And this was a tough one. Again, this goes back to the mood I'm in. Because gummy bears, Harborough gummy bears,
oh,
or
yes.
Swedish fish, it was kind of an either or pick for me. But I had to go Swedish.
I don't know what it is about Swedish fish, and you're not alone in liking them, Joe. Lots of people do. In fact, my kids love them, and most of the younger generation are all about Swedish fish, and they'll buy giant bags of them. I've tried them. I don't like it. I don't know if it's because the concept of candy and then fish, and I know it's not fish tasting, but my brain does not compute this as good. I don't like fish, period, unless it's like smoked salmon. Then I'll enjoy it. But it's like, yeah, I don't. And then if you've ever seen like when we're talking about Swedish fish, just Google that, not the candy. These guys will eat it with the like the heads on in Sweden. It's bizarre. It's a whole profile thing. I don't I wouldn't say that I'm willing to get like angry about it.
You're
There's other
angry,
ones.
Mike. It's too
There's other
late.
ones. This one's right
You
on the
look like
edge
the
of
cover of a
my
warhead right now for those watching.
this is right on the edge of my not a fan of. I'm not going to eat your Swedish fish. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to stop you from doing it or make fun of you or mock you,
I
but I'm
feel
not
made fun of
touching it.
already. The
I'm not
judgment's
touching it.
out.
I'm not touching it. We
Mike,
don't share this.
I
So.
have to take back one thing you said. The only fish you eat is smoked fish.
Oh, I didn't say, okay, that's not fair. I do like I'll eat some fish, but I'm not like a big, like if we go fishing, Joe, God forbid I catch one. First, I don't want to touch it. I certainly don't want to gut it, and I probably don't want to eat it. But if we're like at a restaurant and they have like a trout or, like a halibut or something like that, yeah, I'll definitely eat fish. But I've been in too many situations, specifically in the military, where people pull the fish out of the river, try to like debone it somewhat, cook it, and then expect me to eat it. And I've never enjoyed that process. So
We're missing out, my friend. I wonder if Swedish fish is like the French fry, where they're like, we're not connected to this thing.
they don't want, I'm sure they don't.
Yeah, we're just making it about them, even though like there's no fish that looks like that in Sweden. I'm telling you.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that is my third. And Mike, are you on your third now?
I'm on
That's
my
it.
third. Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, I'm gonna go back to chocolate if it's got to be chocolate, and we're talking fun size. And I don't know if I've ever seen really a lot of full size versions of this one, but there's this combo bag that you get. It's like I think it's a Hershey's bag, and one of them that comes in there is my all-time favorite. In fact, I will separate these from the other four in the bag, and this is the Mr. Goodbar. Mr. Goodbar, specifically the little yellow fun-sized ones, are I'll devour those things, man. I know it's chocolate, it's peanut butter, it's peanuts again, well, peanuts, I guess, in this particular case, but specifically the little fun. I don't know if I've ever had a full-size one. I don't know if I'd enjoy it. It's the delivery of the small package of the Mr. Goodbar, of which I'll eat 10 to 15 of at any given time. So,
Mike,
oh, you're gonna fight?
I don't know what a Mr. Goodbar is. Are you
What?
like
How is this
80 years old?
possible?
I feel like this is an expired candy. I've been up and down aisles my entire life. I've never seen this bar. Or
You've never
maybe I would
seen
have to look at a picture of it.
do you, I'm not, it's not like I'm talking about unwrapped caramels I'm pulling out of my pocket or like those, those things. This is not an old man. Is it an old person's candy bar? I don't think so. Like,
Is candy cigarettes your fourth pick?
yeah, you know what? Here's the thing is you don't eat candy, Joe. So like when you go through the
You're
candy
right.
out, this may be a relatively new candy bar I mean, with the name Mr. Goodbar, I doubt it, but
Like I
yeah,
had my years, but although I am a bit out of the game, I've been up and down Wawa's and 7-Elevens enough to know what the kids are consuming, and I have
this
not
is
seen
not.
this Mr. Goodbar.
This is yeah, well, to be fair, like I said, I don't know if I've seen a full size one, but I'm talking there's this Hershey's bag that comes with them, and that's the one. You know what? You're missing out. If you like chocolate and peanuts, this is put them together, and you got your best one right here.
I've established peanut butter and
Well, that's
chocolate.
made out of peanuts. Yeah, you got it. So
I don't know if they're connected.
they're
I don't buy it.
somewhat. All right, man. Number four for you.
So my last pick, this is hard because I thought about and I'm gonna go chocolate, and I thought about all the chocolate bars I loved, and Snickers from Three Musketeers, Butterfinger, Twix, Milky Way. I'm like, this is hard, and then I had to pick one that had the best blend of all, and I think it's the most underrated bar in the game, and that is Take Five. Chocolate,
Interesting.
caramel, peanut butter, pretzel, the big sleeper, no one else has, and peanuts. It's got everything, Mike. Hershey's rebranded it with the Reese's name recently, and sales tripled. Finally getting the love it deserves. I think the chocolate and pretzel alone is enough to sell me on it. It's the uniqueness of that. I don't know why pretzels are not indulgent in more. We see caramel, peanuts, peanut butter in almost every bar. It's like easy. It's a layup, right? But we don't see people doing the pretzel. And that salty and sweet mix hits, Mike. It delivers in a way that I am getting hungry just talking about, and I may have to break my candy fast because I have not found a Quest Take Five bar yet. I may have to indulge this weekend. I'll have to report back on that. I'm my mouth is salivating.
The Take Five is one of those candy bars that's kind of under the radar, right? You don't really put
100%.
that you don't put that on your most people wouldn't put that on their list of favorites. And
But I don't know why.
it's
I
got
think it's
that
just
you
because it's not the marketing. I think it's marketing. I think more people knew a Take Five. I bet you I asked 10 people, only six know of a Take Five bar.
Yeah, but here's the deal is how many people like to dip their French fries in their Frosty at Wendy's? It's that combo of that sweet and savory that
100%.
really is that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not a huge sweets guy. I'm preferably savory. Like if you gave me a choice between a chocolate shake or French fries, I'm going the French fries, right? And so like to combo that pretzel, I love pretzels too. If you combo pretzels with the chocolate and the Take Five. I wonder if it's just too overwhelming for people. Five ingredients, that's too many, right? Like you're gonna get it's fighting and no flavors coming out. It's like Dr. Pepper.
I agree, and I think that stops a lot of people from trying it. But when it touches your lips, you will not turn back. I promise you. But I do have a fault, similar to
Okay.
Reese's. The portions of it are very small. It comes in two very small tease sizes that leaves you a little unsatisfied. Whereas when I have those other bars I mentioned from Snickers, Butterfinger, Three Musketeers, I feel a completion to my snacking, whereas I don't with Take Five and Reese's. But some good things you need to be reminding yourself that there's more to come. It is not something you want to overdose on. It's one you enjoy. It's the caviar of candy, Mike.
No, it's perfect. Well, now I'm gonna have to go get one. I don't know the last time I've had a Take Five bar. So now that you've sold it to me, heading to the gas station later. Great pick, Joe. I guess it's my turn to wrap it up, huh?
Wrap
So.
it up.
All right. Well, I'm going to do this. We didn't really set any rules to this, so if I call this one out and you're like, "That doesn't count," too bad, so sad. We didn't put rules on it. So, I'm going with the caramel apples. I don't know if we're going to count them, but
Halloween candy, Mike? What house
here's
is
the
giving
deal.
out candy apples?
Okay, so I thought about this and I was like, my criteria is, have I ever received it at a house? And the answer is yes. There's a little bit of a history here. Small town. Terry, Montana. It's tiny, tiny, maybe not even 1,000 people. And back then in the 90s, when you would trick or treat around this time, everybody knew everybody. And you knew which houses gave out which. And there was a house that gave out fresh made caramel apples. And every kid, you'd have to hit it early because they would run out. And they were the most amazing. To this day, you can't get them. I mean, like, you can't, obviously, trick or treating, nobody's giving them out around here because everything's got to be, pre-wrapped. There's a place here that I go to that specifically makes they make all sorts of chocolates, but they do a caramel apple. It's got to be the right type of apple. I'm talking the Granny Smith, the sour one. But listen, this is the perfect combo. You're taking caramel, which I love caramel or caramel, however you want to pronounce it. Put that on an apple. Usually I do the peanut, the crushed up peanut pieces. It's the perfect flavor profile. And to me, it is the flavor of fall. It is the fall treat. I love it. Yeah, does it count? You put candy corn on here, Joe. Nobody's putting candy corn in your Halloween basket. So I'm getting caramel apple.
But it's the ultimate Halloween candy.
Well, I'm saying caramel apples is my ultimate Halloween. Yes, fair.
I
But
live in
to me.
Annapolis, and
When was the
Annapolis
last time you
is
had one? So
it's been a long time, and they're fine, as I'll describe it. It's like the funnel cake of food. Every time I have funnel cake, it's good, but it's never like a craving I have. You see it and you get it. It's not like, let's go get funnel cakes.
I
You walk
purposely
past
get
the
one.
Kilwins downtown Annapolis, and they're displaying them, and it's a spontaneous consumption, to say that.
I disagree, man. I purposely go, and maybe I'm weird, but love me some caramel apples. So I
Well, there it is. Bit different. We can agree on the king in Reese's, but
think that's
very
about
different
it,
lists
right? Yeah.
otherwise. We got a mix of tradition, texture, and pure sugar-driven joy. Now, Halloween is behind us, but the nostalgia never fades here. From me, it's racing home to dump out the pillowcase, haul on the floor, trading with siblings and friends, the good stuff. Um, this one's for every kid who went to bed on October 31st with a stomach ache and no regrets. So that's it. That's I'm looking forward to the fall and the holiday season. We'll have some fun episodes lined up where we can head into the holidays. But for now, pour yourself a protein shake that tastes kind of like a Reese's and let's call it a night.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go for the real deal. I'm throwing down the Reese's as soon as this show is over. But that's, I mean, listen, we had one in common. We were all over the board on this one. But the real question, though, is what would you put up for your favorite candies, top four for Halloween or really anytime? You get to carve them out, and what are you putting on yours? Until the next episode, he's Joe Mintz, I'm Mike Mintz, and this is the Mount Rushmore Show.